Okay, what is your name?
Terry St. John.
Terry, tell me a little bit about the incident and your family or what happened and seeing the closure today.
Just finally, knowing what happened and who did it. It's just been a long 24 years not knowing who killed Tammy, because me and John, who she was living with at the time, we were the ones that were looking for her, and we're the one that wanted to discover that she had been murdered. And because we started looking for her as quickly as we did, we were lucky to find her body, because she was limp. They weren't expecting anyone to find her for years. So we were just blessed to get closure today.
How has it affected your family over the past 24 years?
It's been hard, because not knowing what to tell our son. Our son wants to ask questions about her, and we don't know what do we do. All we do is tell them the good memories that we do know.
What do you do now from here in terms of?
Just heal. It's time to heal. Now that we know who did it, and we'll probably never know why he did it, but at least we can move on and just remember the good things about Tammy.
Now her son, the day that it happened, who was her son?
Christopher, they had dropped him off on the side of the road with a diaper and no shoes on, and some people on the side of the road found him. Yes, so had they not found him, there's a good chance he could have been hit by a car. It was on a major, I think. So anything could have happened. So we're really grateful that they found him when they did.
At what point did you realize that this was the worst? Like, what had happened?
I think when the news reporter on Channel 2 called me back. Because when I first called them, because they had found a female in Splendora, they didn't think it was Tammy, they didn't think she was pregnant. And when they found out all the similarities, they called me back. And when it's just something in my heart, I knew when she called me back that was her. And when they brought Christopher's picture for me to see, and I seen it was Christopher, then we knew it was her.
How old was Christopher again?
He was 15 months.
And how far along was she?
She was 8 months pregnant. She was out about to give birth in the other month. So, okay.
How did they initiate that process?
From what I understand is they picked up the case, and because of the modern technology of the DNAs and stuff now, was able to help them solve the case. And they've done numerous of interviews with people, and they put a lot of hard work into it, and they don't know how much we appreciate them. They are really there for us. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Me and 3 years.
We're all
I'm 3 years old. Yeah, I'm 3 years.
You show your
That was the most beautiful person. Terry always said Christopher's feet never touched the ground. He always had them like that. They are.
Oh, yeah.
It will never be enough.
I know, that's what I was.
Okay, first of all, your name?
Mike Shirley.
Mike, tell me a little bit about this case and the final outcome today. It's been several years coming.
Sure. Back in June of 1990, Tammy Bounds was about an 18-year-old young lady who was found deceased in our county. And although we believe she was probably killed in Harris County, the perpetrator of this crime, Robert Lawrence Wilson, we believed left her dead up here in our county. And he also left her 14-month-old little boy at the time around that same area, but not quite the area of where he left the body, but the same area of the county. And left him there out in the June elements and the hot sun. And at the time, Tammy actually was pregnant, and it wasn't until about 2011 that we were able to solve this crime due to DNA. And we ended up arresting Robert Lawrence Wilson on the case. And between 2011 till now, we've been working on trying to prosecute him and come to resolution of this case, of which we did today. He was given 30 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division on a murder charge.
Tell me, you've got two detectives work this case pretty hard, or since basically they would work it when they were assigned in 2006.
Correct. Thomas Duroy, he goes by Tommy, he and Terrence Greenwood, they're attached to the cold case division, and through their diligence and hard work and actually reopening this case, I believe in 2006, is how this came to where it is today. In 2006, they looked at the case. I think they've re-interviewed witnesses. I know that certainly back in 2009, they looked at the case again. I think they brought it to me back then, and it wasn't until we found some DNA evidence that was able to pinpoint who we believe the perpetrator was, which was Robert Wilson.
How did they locate Wilson?
They knew where he was. He was one of many people that they looked at back in 1990. Well, not Tommy Duroy and Terrence Greenwood, but the detectives back then talked to a lot of witnesses back then. But one of the people who came forward and had some information on the case was Robert Wilson. And so they knew that he was out in California. They actually found where he was living out in California, and they went out and spoke with him in the summer of 2011.
Yeah, pretty much determined at that point that was possibly him again.
Well, they had a good idea that it was him based on the DNA, but they did try to attempt to interview him in California, and there was a short interview that they had with him, and then he was arrested shortly after that.
Okay. What about the family now, as far as closure?
Well, I think that they do have some closure. I don't think that. I think they probably would like some more time on this as far as a higher sentence, but I think they understand that what's best for the case was the plea bargain that was reached today.
What about the baby at the time? Baby was just found wandering around.
Correct. The young man that was 14 months, I believe, at the time, he is grown up now, and I saw him today, and he's grown up, and thankfully he's alive.
What cold cases? I mean, they've got a lot of these. They've got
They do.
60 on the table yet?
I don't know the number, but I would encourage people to look at the cold case website for the Montgomery County, Texas Sheriff's Department. It's run by Tommy Duroy and Terrence Greenwood. There's a lot of cases on there, and if anybody would like to look at those and see if there's any information they have, there's lots of cases that they might be able to help out with.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.